Yes, I'm Alin Albu-Schäffer. I'm director of the Institute of Robotics and Mechatronics at the German Aerospace Center and a professor at the Technical University of Munich. Indeed, euROBIN is a network which has two purposes. First of all, to bring together some of the best robotics and AI institutes all over Europe to cooperate towards new scientific discoveries and application. And on the second point, to advance some of the major scientific questions in robotics. So we are in two directions, basically. A network which shows that Europe is at the forefront of robotics today and solving the questions of tomorrow's robotics. We have chosen the teams according to their capability to bring in already an advanced robotics competence. We have to understand this is a project funded by 12 million euro by the European Commission, but we have 31 partners. So in order to organize a competition like we have now, you need to have partners which already have a robot which is advanced in terms of hardware, but also in terms of cognitive and software skills. So we were looking for experienced teams which have this capability. And we had two main points of interest. One is application. And we have applications in industrial robotics, in home robotics with humanoids, and in outdoor robotics for last mile delivery. So we were looking for experts in this area. And on the other side, we need all the AI skills. So you need advanced hardware, you need control, you need planning, you need perception, you need cognition, you need machine learning and transferability. So we have also methodical aspects all over Europe integrated with the best teams. We are living exciting times in robotics today because over the last 20 years we had a strong advancement in hardware, in control. So we have pretty complex robots now, humanoid robots, sensitive compliant industrial robots, outdoor robots on wheels, on legs, flying robots. But now in the last 5 years, AI did an incredible development. However, AI development was so far only in the area of data, on the internet data, so on text, language, images, but not really on the physical systems, so interacting with the real world. So what we see as a big challenge is bringing the developments in AI over the last years together with the strengths Europe has in robotics, in hardware control, such that we can tackle activities in everyday environment with advanced robotics systems. Over the last 2 years, we have seen announcements of big companies in US and following that also in China in developing humanoid robots. We heard about Tesla and the Optimus system, Figure One, but also over 60 companies developing humanoids in China nowadays. So there's a huge investment, and the question is how can we respond from European side? And the strength in Europe is that we have a big number of universities all over the countries which have methodical developments, have their strengths, but do not have the size of any of the companies in the West. So the goal of this network of excellence is to create an ecosystem, a common ground from which the partners can benefit, but even smaller laboratories, spin-off startup companies can also benefit. What's the idea? The idea is to have what we call a EuroCore, so a European code and data repository, where we upload our best methods and we make it available to the community on one side. What are the best methods? In order to find this out, we are organizing what we call co-petitions, so cooperative competitions. It's exactly what we hear and see today in Nancy. And here we address the three application areas we're talking about, so industrial applications, home robotics with humanoids and outdoor robotics, and try to solve some interesting challenges. And then we compare the methods in terms of perception, planning, AI, capabilities of grasping objects, of navigating through the environment. So we compare and benchmark all these methods We created a so-called marketplace where we upload all those tools, AI approaches, but also the data, for example, the maps we are creating. And the participants can choose some of those algorithms, right? And they are incentivized actually to use also tools from other teams. This idea of cooperative competition is also something very new. Actually, we know about competitions, for example, the DARPA Humanoid Challenge, challenges at the big robotics conferences, but there each team acts by itself, right? So the team has its own robot and try to solve the task as quickly, as good as possible with their own structure. And they solve again and again the same problems, like navigation, grasping, perception, right? While in our setup, we compete as well, but instead of only giving points for solving the task, we incentivize very strongly the usage of components from the partners. So if you solve a task, for example, in your own kitchen, you get 10 points. If you solve the same task in the kitchen of the partner, you get 50 points. If you solve it using some map or neural networks from the partner, you get even 10 times more points, right? So actually this competition is more aligned towards cooperating and advancing as a community than towards competing as an individual lab.